Appreciate you. With no further ado, we're going to get right into this banger from Cosmic Verse. Going on here. Modern women realize feminism is a scam. Hey, we've been lied to by feminism. Hey, listen, we've been trying to tell you, but you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn today. Anyway, you guys, go ahead and follow, and let's get right into this.
You know, all the things that you would want.
To all the young girls and even ladies out there that don't buy into this whole modern feminist movement, that men are the enemy, that marriage is bondage, that children are a burden.
Modern day feminism is meant to literally break and destroy us.
Being a girl boss is so exhausting and not rewarding. The way I just...
That's the lie so many women fell for. Being a girl boss, not realizing how it's hurting them.
Get ready with me to sit at the bar alone in hopes of meeting a man naturally instead of on a dating app.
Feminism is not making you work. Your husband is.
I'm going to say something really controversial now. Feminism has done mothers zero favors.
Feminism say they're about choice, and yet shames stay-at-home mums for choosing. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Why is a confident woman so scary to these men? Like, okay, you don't like me. There's no reason to talk shit about a bad bitch because she wants to bad bitch on.
The next man who tells me that they're just not in a spot to date and can't give me what I want, but then give the next girl a couple months later exactly what I was asking for, is gonna get...
These blue-haired ones and multicolored hair, they don't even like men like that. Don't be fooled. She don't shave her armpits or nothing like that or wash. She's far, far liberal. Best believe that.
Get their house burnt down. Just tell me you don't like me. Be fucking honest.
I mean, feminism makes dating extremely hard. It is increasingly difficult to flirt with women nowadays. There's a large chance that you, as a man, will be #MeToo'd for simply pursuing a woman. I mean, the worst thing that could ever happen to dating is a woman interpreting a man pursuing her and thinking that she's beautiful as harassment.
I agree.
Doesn't it make you laugh that it literally triggers feminists when you say, like, I want to make my man a sandwich, or I want to serve him, or I want to be submissive? Why do you get so mad by that? Why does that trigger you? Like, let's just reflect for a second. When you find a good man, you love doing those things for him. I don't know about you, but I love to make my husband food. He wants a sandwich, I will go gladly make him a sandwich. He wants me to pack his lunch. No problem. No problem. That's not an issue for me. Like, why does that get you so mad when you hear other women saying they want to serve their husband or their household? Why do you guys get so triggered?
Well, that's because many of these feminists want other women to be just as miserable as they are. No man, no kids, no family. That's why they get so offended when a woman says she wants to serve her man or build a home. It challenges the narrative they've built around independence, equating to happiness, even when they're clearly unfulfilled behind closed doors. They don't want to admit that what they sold as freedom often leads to loneliness. So when a woman chooses a different path, one rooted in love, partnership and sacrifice, they take it personally. Why? Because it reminds them of what they secretly desire, but gave up chasing careers, attention, and validation that never filled the void. It's not about empowerment anymore, it's about control. They don't want women to have real choice. They want everyone to pick the same path.
You guys on TikTok, y'all make sure y'all follow. Don't miss any reaction videos. Let's go.
So they don't feel left behind.
Women really saw their husbands come back from 12 hours of work, miserable and tired, and thought, gee, I want to do that too.
So a woman called me. She said, I'm 50 years old. I have 3 degrees. I'm a very successful entrepreneur, CEO. And I want you to know, Dennis, I deeply regret that I followed the feminist advice at college. Because when I come home after a successful day at work to an empty home, no husband, no children, no family, it's not good.
Was there any other areas of feminism where you think it's having a negative impact?
Yes, I think it has ruined the family, the structure of the family, because the feminists are telling you, you're more than just a mom. You can do more. You have more to bring to the table, as if mothering wasn't a big enough job. You know, being a mom, being a parent is a full-time job. The feminist movement, women were saying you're more than that. Just put your kids in daycare. Let the government raise your kids. Let somebody else do it. And you go, and because it's about you and you can have it all. And you can be a mom and you can have a full-time career and you can be completely satisfied and you can be married and you're still going to have energy. No, you cannot have it all at the same time. Maybe in a lifetime, but not all at the same time. You're going to have to make some sacrifices if you're going to raise a good, healthy family with good kids.
The women who were preaching this lifestyle are very unhappy. Yes, many of them have amazing careers, high-status jobs, and make a lot of money. But they also come home to an empty house. They traded connection for independence, thinking a job title or six-figure salary would fill the emotional void. But success means nothing when you have no one to share it with. Feminism most definitely has ruined the structure of the family. What started as a movement for equal rights slowly morphed into an ideology that encouraged women to reject traditional roles altogether, roles that once held the family together.
Y'all was set up, man. You fell for it. You fell for it, and now y'all have to deal with it. And all this, I'm an independent, strong, blah, 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 blah. We don't care. We don't care.
It devalued the role of men as providers and protectors, while shaming women who wanted to be mothers and wives. And now, we are left with a culture full of confused individuals, broken relationships, and a society where the family, the most important unit, is falling apart.
I'm oppressed because I'm a stay-at-home mom. But the solution to this oppression is for me to just go to work and pay insane amounts of money so that I could outsource the work that I was already doing for my own kids. Me personally, I'll just never see me taking care of the family that I done sat up here and had as a bad thing. It's honestly a privilege. And if my man were to sit up here and tell me that he feels oppressed for having to financially provide for his family, I would look at him so crazy for that.
I'm so happy that women are starting to finally break out of the matrix and realize modern day feminism is meant to literally break and destroy us. And the reason we are all so fucked up and unhappy is because we are going against nature, and nature will always prevail and will always win. But that is like true. It's like so funny that it took this long for these things to start to become mainstream ideas. You don't need to be a girl boss. That shit's disgusting and embarrassing. Cut it out.
Can we all just talk about the hot women to men ratio in the UK at the minute? Okay, maybe not go as far as UK, but especially in London, because everywhere I go, beautiful women, stunning, gorgeous. Where's the men? Where are they? I actually think that you'd be lucky if you saw 1 in 100. I used to think to myself, how are these women single? Like, they're beautiful, a lot of them got good jobs, like, they can all fend for themselves, like, they're respectful, like, you know, all the things that you would want, right? And now I realise it's by choice.
What?
Because...
Absolutely not.
Okay. And I'm 24, and I'm realising I'm probably going to be single for a very, very long time. Because all the good ones get snapped up like that, and all the other ones, they're just disgusting.
It doesn't matter how hot a woman is, if men are repulsed by her attitude, entitlement, or the way she carries herself. It's no wonder why she can't get a match. Beauty might grab attention, but it's her energy, her character, and how she treats others that determines if a man will stay. And that's the real issue. So many of these women constantly talk about how beautiful they are, how many men are in their DMs, how many compliments they get. But they forget that looks fade, and that beauty alone doesn't sustain a relationship. A lot of women today focus on being the main character, but forget to develop the qualities that actually make someone a good partner. Men are no longer just chasing looks. They're searching for peace, support, and emotional connection. If all she brings is attitude and a pretty face, he'll admire her, sure, but from a distance.
So 100,000 women went on strike today in Iceland to demand gender equality. The entire population is 370,000. So over 25% of the population went on strike. And I have some crazy news for you. The economy did not come to a stop, and it continues normal. The only memo I got was that HR departments were getting no complaints for the 24 hours that the women were on strike. And men were writing that they were really sorry women didn't get gender equality. But I heard one CEO said it was nice to finally get some shit done, end quote.
Misandry isn't a thing because misandry rarely, if ever, results in violence towards men.
Oh dear.
What?
So by this logic, as long as something doesn't
That's
cause
crazy.
large amounts...
I see women beating on guys all the time in these videos. What are you talking about? Oh, this woman, this old bag.
...of harm on a regular basis, it's not a thing. Right. But it's still okay to vehemently dislike someone based on characteristics that they cannot control. Good to know.
Misandry hurts men's feelings. Misogyny ends up with women being unalived by men.
I do believe that most rational people do acknowledge and understand that misogyny is wrong. After all, it is a form of bigotry, which, might I add, is misandry. But apparently it's okay to be a bigot as long as it's against men, because it only hurts men's feelings in some individuals' opinions, right? But unfortunately, that couldn't be further from the truth. Men do suffer from misandry, both physically and mentally. And if some individuals don't want to...
Yeah, you guys, make sure you hit the like. TikTok is trying to restrict my access. They don't like how I conduct my live streams. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Let me do this. Come on, TikTok. Don't do it to me.
care about men's mental health and the unfortunate level of self-unaliving rates in the male population, well, then that's just fine. We'll just continue to push this narrative that misandry hurts no one except for men's feelings.
The thing about that is, women who say misandry isn't real are either in denial or intentionally ignoring the double standards in today's society. If a man said half the things some women say about men online, he'd be instantly labeled toxic, cancelled, or worse. But when women openly mock, shame, or belittle men, it's brushed off as joke.
And look how funny looking this woman is, man. Like, come on, dude. Look how homely this chick looks. Like, why is she tucking her hair behind her ears? She looked bad enough. She looked like she's like my age, like 40 with a filter on. We already know why she's disgruntled. I'm just gonna leave it alone, man.
Or speaking their truth. They'll say men are trash, men are useless, or all men cheat, and nobody bats an eye. But if a man dares to voice frustration about modern dating or women's behavior, suddenly he's accused of being bitter or insecure. That's not equality. That's selective outrage. Misandry is real. You see it when fathers get overlooked in custody battles. You see it when us boys are told to man up and hide their emotions. You see it when men are shamed just for having standards. But society doesn't want to talk about it, because acknowledging misandry would mean holding women accountable. And for some, that's too uncomfortable.
Women get custody because the court system favors them. No, but okay. And I'll tell you what, men are punished for being traditional in this country. They are. Because the way the court system, and see this, I'm gonna talk about this because I know things. Because the way the code is written, it's basically the person that spends the most time with the child. Well, if a man wants to protect and provide for his family, who does that punish? The guy for doing the right thing.
But the children spend more time with the mothers. Sometimes men are not as involved.
Correct. But it's because
children that want to go with them.
It's because they're at work, though. What's in the best interest of the child? When you look at single father homes, they fare very similar to two-parent households. When you look at single mother homes, they become criminals.
I didn't know that. Yep.
They become criminals, drug dealers, school shooters. Every really problem that you can look at in society comes from single mother homes. Single father homes, not the same.
I tried. There you go, Pearl. I mean, sometimes Pearl be taking some unnecessary jabs, but at other times, you know, she be on point.
Not to really focus too much on the fact that, like, I've been single for quite some time and, like, I haven't found my person yet. And I feel like the one thing that I desire the most, I have not obtained it in life yet. And I try not to have that, you know, constantly at the front of my mind. And then sometimes I just have moments and thoughts where I'm just like, damn, this kind of sucks. And like, when is this feeling and when is this season of my singleness going to be over?
Never.
And the most sucky part about it is that, like, no one has the answers. I don't know. I can't ask anybody else. I literally just have to wait.
Just like this woman, there are so many out there who constantly complain about how single they are.
Yeah, it's not going to change, but you guys make sure y'all smash that like button. You know, TikTok, they restricted my video twice in one video, man. I'll figure something out over here on TikTok, but we're gonna expand. We're gonna force them to get used to this type. I guess people don't really go live on here like this. I guess. Well, it's time for them to get used to somebody doing something brand new. You know, I don't normally see people going live like this, but that don't mean it's not possible. They shouldn't give me the app to do it on. So we're going to work on this, you guys. But TikTok, I'm back. I'm going to be over here going live a lot more. It won't just be the workouts, but ladies, don't miss the workouts. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? I'm be on here working out for y'all. Come on. But go ahead and follow on TikTok. I'm reposting this on YouTube. Make sure that y'all subscribe. Join the tribe, set the notification bell, share the video. Right now it's so important. I'm trying to get to 10K followers, subscribers. You guys, come on, let's do this. Anyway, salute. That's what's happening. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.